Shout out to my boy New Breed. I need y'all to like, share, comment, subscribe.
Hey, can I help you?
Appreciate your work, New Breed.
For Sean Satori. Is he in here?
A great observer of
Sean
your
doesn't
work.
live here, but I'll let him know you're looking for him.
Look, I know Sean's in here, and this arrest warrant gives me the authority to enter the property.
Actually, it doesn't. You're not legally required to let this officer or any other officer into your home, even with an arrest warrant present.
Really?
Yeah. It says here that Stiegel versus U.S. is a United States Supreme Court case that held that, based on the Fourth Amendment, a search warrant is needed to arrest someone from the home of a third party.
Wow, what a lifesaver.
Are you prepared to deal with law enforcement when you encounter them? It's important to know your rights when dealing with the police. Not knowing your rights is the #1 reason why hardworking everyday Americans have their rights violated by the police. Download the Cancel Tyranny app today. Place the law in your pocket.
Shalom, shalom. What's going on with y'all? I had a rather sleepless night last night and brink of this Tyre Nichols situation. Yo, this one really hit me. It hit me to the core, man. Because it's a tragic situation that kind of hits close to home to every melanated man. Hell, to every man at this point. Because when you look at the statistics, when it comes to tyranny and the criminal abuse of power being utilized by the hands of these thugs in blue suits, everybody has a story. I surely have one story in which I told several times on my story, on my platform. I myself, when I was 18 years old, I was beat by 2 police officers, and they happened to be melanated men. And I told this story multiple times. So this one kind of hit me, man. And I want to tell you the truth about this heinous, deplorable crime that took place and give you the reality of the situation, because everything that's aired on a mainstream global level has a serious agenda. You living in a time where they can scrub footage, they can hide whatever they would like to hide from the media, from the media and all publications. Certainly, this happens more often than you would imagine, where your rights are totally violated. And you know, they able to put certain things out there because there's an agenda. And I'm just going to tell you straight like this. I'm going to be just quite frank with you, right? I personally believe that this was a heinous hit on Tyre Nichols in order to push a political agenda. This is what the left has been waiting for, a situation like this. And it's going to be further exploitation of us as a people throughout all of this, in order for the left to engage certain changes in laws, and they're going to implement different protocols. Everything is about to change worldwide. But starting off in this nation, and it's really no excuse for what took place. There's really no excuse. For everybody who's seen what's going on, you had these officers, they pulled this young man over, they snatched him out of the car. According to all evidence that's been presented to us so far, there has been no probable cause for them even for the traffic stop to begin with. And that raises a lot of questions. They went through traffic footage, cameras, and so forth. The police who pulled him over claimed he was recklessly driving. There's no proof of that whatsoever, which leads me to believe that this was some sort of sanctioned hit that took place. And already protests are breaking out nationwide. You can expect that to happen. And I don't know who allegedly sanctioned this, but someone did, in my opinion. I don't think anything is relative these days. I would have seen no reason for them to just literally hunt this man unless they were watching him, unless he was a target, unless he was an individual who was being pretty much gang stalked by these officers and they plan to pull this particular man over. You know, I know that the world wants you to believe that these cops just randomly was riding through the night and they was feeling froggy, so they decided to just beat a man to death. I don't think that's how it went. I think that somewhere, somehow, somebody got some type of they were notified by someone to do what they did. And whatever take place afterwards, we're gonna see the agenda full-fledged. Well, with no further ado, I'm gonna share a little bit of this news here.
Of that graphic video showing Memphis police officers beating a man who died days later. The video made public overnight shows those officers repeatedly punching and kicking Tyre Nichols.
Protests breaking out overnight across the country almost immediately after that video was released, including in Memphis, where people marched in the streets and blocked traffic on the interstate. Nichols' family pleading for protesters to remain peaceful.
And
you know, I'm surprised that Memphis has not turned into a straight up ash heap at this point. I'm surprised they haven't burned it to the ground. Who knows? They released the footage on a Friday night around 6 p.m., which to me seems strategic in itself. By the end of the weekend, I don't believe that these protests will remain peaceful. It's going to really hit the fan. And see, what a lot of people don't realize at this moment is those cops are sitting at home right now with their families. At least 4 of them are. According to my sources and my research, every last one of those police, except for one, have already posted bail. They were given about a $250,000 bail on second-degree murder, which it should have been first-degree murder, with no bail. But a lot of them are sitting home right now watching the news, just like we're watching the news, and they're already lawyered up. Yeah, they've already bonded out. So I know that we're imagining these officers sitting in jail right now, down bad and sick, and that's not the case. They all have their lawyers. They're going to have their day in court. I guess one of them wasn't able to post bail. And it is what it is. These demons were being used by Satan to carry out a hit.
And President Biden speaking with Tyre's mother and stepfather hours before the video was released to express his condolences and commend the family for the.
Now, see, this is a red flag in itself. You got sleepy Joe Biden already at this, already talking to the family before everything was released. Let me explain this to you. This is being used for political purposes. Anytime the president of the United States sits down with the family hours before the footage was released. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Use critical thinking and analyze this. The truth is, they did not have to release the footage to the public. They did not have to release the footage to the public. But they did release the footage to the public. Matter of fact, it was an opportunistic moment for those on the left side. It was opportunistic for the president, for anybody who is Democratic, who wants to push certain legislation. It was the perfect scenario. Because even Black Lives Matter are out there. They're protesting to defund the police. Now, at the end of the day, the hell with the police. It just is, it is what it is. But simultaneously, while they're pushing these narratives to defund the police, our people are pretty much cannibalizing each other. And this video proves it. It ain't no hate like the hate of your own people. We can stop the race bait agendas. We can cut all of that up. It's your people who hate you with a passion. It's your people. It's your people who are your worst enemies. It's just a fact. And I know people can say, you know, Bree, hey, maybe it's institutionalized racism, because you're going to hear that term a lot in order to, you know, pretty much take down the police and defund them and get them off of our streets. You're going to hear systemic or institutionalized racism being taught and brought to you by the police service and how they train and what they're told to do. Listen, you have evil people out here in the world, right? And you have evil people who abuse power all the time. There's people right now as we speak who are babysitters, who work at daycares. You got individuals who work at hospice, nursing homes, who abuse their power because there's some demonic sick people out here. And these demonic sick people are riddled with spirits, and they are just seconds away from flipping. There's a lot of people walking around the world right now that are literally seconds away from flipping the hell out. And at a drop of a dime, these vicious savages who have no spiritual clarity, no insight, they don't have the Most High in them. In seconds, they can do these heinous acts because they're full of demons. It's real sad, man.
Their courage and strength. We'll be joined by Tyre's family in just a few moments. But first, ABC's Stephanie Ramos is in Memphis with the latest on that video. Stephanie, good morning to you.
Hi there, Janae. In that video, you see Memphis police officers kicking, punching, using a baton on 29-year-old Tyre Nichols, who died days later. In that video, you also hear Tyre call out for his mother. He asks, "What did I do?" The hour-long video is disturbing.
Ladies and gentlemen, could you imagine being tortured for a complete hour? Do you know how long that is to be under that distress? A whole entire hour of being physically assaulted. An hour. It seems that they're jumpstarting the year off with pushing the purge narrative. Five-on-one man for an hour. Once the police are defunded, You can expect real anarchy to hit the streets. In fact, you know, I'm predicting that by this weekend, somewhere around, I don't know, let's say this evening, these protests are going to turn violent, and the streets are going to be proven unsafe for police to even walk the beat anymore. And once that happens, you can bring in boots to the ground. You can bring in martial law in specific states. So far, I see D.C., New York City, and I see, of course, Memphis. They're all protesting peacefully right now. But what happens when they send the provocateurs and the agents on the scene? What happens when they send Antifa on the scene? Now, I mean, this is beginning to look like a broken record. There's a lot of familiarities here with the George Floyd situation. Now, it's a few things that could have happened in this situation. It could have been planned. Somebody could have told these officers to do what they do, and the hit was orchestrated. Who knows? Tyre Nichols may have been a targeted individual, a person watched by local law enforcement. I find it rather strange that this happened just hundreds of feet, blocks from his house, blocks from his home. This took place as if he was being followed home. It could have been that he was a sacrifice for the agenda, for the political agenda. Or it could just be that political figures looked at this as an opportunity. Imagine that video going on the table and the governor being called about this. And it was so heinous what they seen on these cameras, or what these black officers did to a black man. It was so heinous what they seen. It went up to the president. It went through everything. It went from the local police to the chief of police, went on to the FBI. Then it was going to the governor. Governor had his connections and his affiliations, and it went all the way to the president's desk. And they said, yes. Time to go show up. Matter of fact, we're going to release this footage. And before we release it, I want to meet up with the family. This is perfect to defund the police. This is perfect. This is what I believe is happening in this man's death. It can only be those two things. Either they planned it or they just jumped on the opportunity. Sad stuff, man.
This morning, outrage and protests in the streets of Memphis following the release of disturbing body camera footage showing the brutal beating of 29-year-old Tyre Nichols at a traffic stop. The incident happened January 7th around 8:30 in the evening. You can see here police stop Nichols while he's in his car and pull him out. In the video, Nichols maintaining his innocence.
Damn, I didn't do anything.
Officers tackling him.
Now, warning, some of this footage may be a bit disturbing. As you can hear, the brother said, I did not do anything. What is happening right now? Why were these officers on 10 like that? What was going on here? Where they randomly pulled this young man over and there were they didn't even tell him why they pulled him over. He wasn't even told why he was stopped.
To the ground.
Get on the ground! Okay. All right, I'm on the ground.
And
Nichols.
I will not, for the record, I will not be playing the the entire footage of what took place. I will not be doing that. Some of this will be skipped over because it's just too much. Even what I just showed you is graphic enough, so I warned you. But a lot of this is gonna get skipped over. I don't find the need to play the entire video of what took place. A lot of you all have seen it already. And if you haven't, you can watch this on your own time. I'm here to really express why this took place, to help us heal as people during what's about to happen. And also to forewarn a lot of you brothers and sisters who are probably thinking about taking to the streets. I'm gonna talk about some of the things I think are on the horizon. Yeah, we're gonna skip over the beating, and we're gonna go here. We're gonna skip over this as well, but this is the results. The man died a few days later.
Following the video's release, people taking to the streets in Memphis, chanting "No justice, no peace," and Tyre's name, shutting down the interstate.
Now they're saying no justice, no peace. And what you got to realize is a lot of individuals don't understand that the way the law works. They don't understand that they have to wait for these officers to have their day in court, but the people ain't trying to hear that. Like I said, these officers are at home right now, which I don't even know how anybody in their families, wives, kids, etc., can even embrace these demonic, wicked cowardice. Just big old punks, big sissies. I don't even know how their families can embrace them, bro. How their wives can look them in their eyes. How their families aren't the ones who are dragging them to the streets. How their families aren't the ones like, yo, what have you done? What have you done? There's a lot of people who are going to be in those streets tonight. And the outcome is exactly what the government wants. It's exactly what they want. See, let me tell you something. Some statistics had came out recently. Somebody said, you mean to tell me they're not locked up? Yeah, they were arrested, but they posted bail. They got charged with second degree murder. They were released on bail. I think all but one officer posted bail already. They're at home with their families and they already have lawyers. Their lawyers are on TV talking and proclaiming the officer's innocence already. Similar to how it went down with the George Floyd situation. And if you can remember correctly, it took them a little bit longer to get rid of those officers. And I believe they were on like paid administrative leave. But with these officers, they were fired right away and arrested, I believe, hours later. And then they posted bail. You know, they posted bail. They home with their family. Yeah, it could have been murder for hire, man. But as I was saying, the agenda is real, man. Let me just play a little more of this.
More importantly, we want peace. We do not want any type of uproar. We do not want any type of disturbance.
President Biden watching for the first time with the rest of the nation, saying it is yet another painful reminder of the profound fear and trauma, the pain and the exhaustion that Black and brown Americans experience every single day.
Now, are we really here to believe that President Joe Biden. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden, y'all. The one who made the 89 crime bill. Joe Biden. Joe Biden, the one who made the 94 crime bill. We talking about Jim Crow Joe, who has inordinately locked up black and brown people his entire life, his whole entire political career. He has been putting blacks and browns behind bars. I mean, giving these brothers life sentences, throwing them out like they were hot cakes. We talking about Scarecrow Joe is trying to tell you about the plight of our people. Don't y'all see how this is being used politically, y'all? Come on now. This story ain't been around an entire day. This has been, approximately 2 days since this story broke, and already we got the president of the United States on TV talking about this. This is obvious what's going on here. It's obvious. "2024, he wants to be reelected." Listen, melanated people, do not let these demonic politicians strum and play with your heartstrings. Do not let them love bomb and gaslight you. This man has made our existence here in this country a living hell for a long time now, and especially during his entire presidency. Don't fall for the charades and smoke and mirrors. It was horrible what happened to that young man, bro. But here you got these vultures using it against the people.
The release of the brutal video coming just one day after.
Yo, look at these cowards. All of these men, big guys, beating this little guy like that. Cowards. Straight, just weaklings, man.
After the 5 former officers were handed felony charges, including second-degree murder and aggravated kidnapping and assault. All 5 now fired following the incident. And in addition to those 5 officers, the Shelby County Sheriff's Department says 2 sheriff's deputies who appeared at the scene after the beating have been relieved of duty pending the outcome of this administrative investigation.
That's good. They've been relieved of duty too, because when they pulled up to the scene, they didn't help. They didn't go call the ambulance. They didn't do anything. They didn't help to resuscitate this guy. They didn't help to do anything. So they were relieved of duty as well, because they pulled up, and this is what they do. They cover each other's back. They try to help each other get through, come up with a cover story and so forth. Something else just came to mind. I wonder where that camera was coming from. That just came to my mind right here. I wonder where that camera was at. Was it a light? Because it almost seems as if that even is strategic in a way. Did they know where that camera was at? You would think, you being local law enforcement. No, I know there's body cams. I'm talking about the camera that is on top. That's not a body cam. I'm talking about the camera that's watching down on them. I'm wondering what cam was that? A light? Was that somebody's balcony? What was that? You would think local law enforcement to do something like they just did, a street pole, right? You would think they would know or have an idea where all the cameras are at. Yeah, I don't believe this is the only beating they did. I don't believe that at all. The way they dealt with that young man, you can tell that these guys are used to being savages. You can tell that they used to being barbaric.
Hours before the video was released, Nichols' family and their attorneys coming before cameras, pleading for reform and the creation of Tyre's Law in Tennessee, which would require officers to intervene if they see crimes committed by a fellow officer.
It's not just justice for one family, it's justice for all of us. That's what Rovon is praying for. She wants reform.
The family's attorneys also asking police to disband the street crime unit known as Scorpion, arguing there were other cases of police misconduct and that some claims were ignored, suggesting this tragedy might have been prevented.
See, what happens when you give these officers these special units and you put pretty much 4 or 5 of them together, it's a lot different than them having 1 or 2. When you start putting 4 or 5 of them together, the group psychology kicks in. They start to look at themselves like a gang, opposed to, actual police officers. You get 4 or 5 of them together, one of them get frustrated, one of them feeling a certain way. Here go the group psychology of the whole thing. So that's what happens. You give them, they walking around thinking they badasses. Oh yeah, we part of a special unit called Scorpion. So we got to get out here and get in the streets and terrorize the people. See, them the real gangbangers out here power tripping. Yeah, man. Somebody said breed. Yeah, somebody said they feel powerful in groups. Absolutely. The pack mentality. But really, they're a bunch of cowards.
The mayor saying the team has been inactive since Nichols' death. Attorneys for 2 of the former officers, Desmond Mills and Emmett Martin, saying their clients intend to plead not guilty. ABC News reached out to Justin Smith and to Darius Bean, but have not heard back. An attorney for Demetrius Haley declined to comment.
See, they all attorneyed up already. They done posted bond. A few of them already saying that they not guilty. At the end of the day, these people are still at home with their families. Yeah, these people, they already lawyered up. I don't even see how a lawyer can defend this. They caught red-handed on camera. Something is really wrong with this judicial system. Something's wrong with this system, y'all. I don't know how you can be eligible for bond or bail when this is on camera, you brutally, savagely murdering a man. Listen, they are a threat to the community. They're a threat to the community, and still they getting preferential treatment for some reason. In my opinion, they're getting preferential treatment. They got lawyers, they at home, they was able to bond. There should have been no bond. Because what they did was they totally abused their power. They show that they are a danger to the community, they're a danger to society. Savage murderers walking the streets right now. I don't even know if any of those stipulations required them to be on house arrest. I don't know if they were labeled non-flight risk. We don't even know this. We don't even know how long the case can take. This could take years to actually go to court, and they can be out there enjoying their lives. And if they got good enough lawyers, the way this system works is all about money. It's all about the money. Damn bloodthirsty demons, bro.
The attorney for former Officer Mills tells us his client is devastated by this.
This is somebody who's dedicated his life to protecting all of us. And now he found himself in jail yesterday.
On GMA Friday, the Memphis police chief bringing into question the accusation of reckless driving that police say led to the initial stop.
I do believe that the stop itself was very questionable, and we haven't been able to substantiate in any type of video that there was a reckless driving type of action that prompted this stop.
As to why that video was released, the district attorney says it was important to this community here in Memphis and Tyre's family to show the world and feel their pain.
Man, I'm telling y'all, listen, man, there's so many scenarios that could have played into this incident. Did somebody know Tyre personally? Because the way that went is almost as if, and I'm not gonna throw no accusations on a brother, we don't know, but it seemed personal the way they treated this man. It seemed personal, as if he had somebody's, well, like he had one of their wives or something. Like, what is going on here? They just randomly pull this man over and he gets this type of treatment? Like, why? Did somebody know this brother? Was he being followed? Is there any connection? Did he do something in the streets that cost one of these cops some money? Because you know it's all street politics. You know the cops is dirty. You know they playing in them streets, man. Is there something more to this story? It's like something is missing from this story. Yeah, it looks absolutely personal. When you really look at this, man, something just ain't right. It could be a straight up psyop, but a psyop typically is a staged event and something fake. That beating was very real. It's very real. So I don't even want to use the word psyop. I want to use the word political agenda. Let's use those two words. A possible sacrifice. It could be some Masonic involvement in all of this. Tyre, could have been a targeted individual being watched by local law enforcement for whatever reason. Somebody said he was a photographer. Maybe he caught some pictures of something he wasn't supposed to have. Something was personal about this, bro. Something was personal about this.
Janae.
All right, Stephanie.
I want to hear what the police chief has to say. I haven't really heard what she has to say. I heard what Nichols' family attorneys had to say. More than likely, they're going to get a huge, not even more than likely, you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to get a huge cash settlement. Even though that doesn't take away the pain. That doesn't take away the fact that you lost your loved one. That doesn't take away the fact that your son won't be here anymore. It doesn't take away from what he experienced in his final hour. America's about to see something, man. America's about to change, bro. I want to hear what the mother has to say, and we really have to get into that. I want to see let's see what the chief of police has to say. I'm telling you, man, it's gonna go down in Memphis tonight, bro. I can feel it in the air. If you're in a major city, I think you might want to stay out the cities tonight. I think you want to stay out the cities tonight. Seriously. I think that would be your best bet.
Now, as there are calls in the community for justice for Tyre Nichols,
There have also been questions to where Memphis's police chief has been since the firing of 5 officers last week.
You know, we haven't seen the chief since that firing, and many are now calling for the officers to face criminal charges. They're also wanting the officers' body cam footage to be released so they can see what happened during Nichols' arrest. WRG's Shay Arthur is live now tonight to explain the latest. And Shay, what do you know?
Hey, well, we might not have seen Chief Davis, but one pastor we talked to has spoken with her and shared with us some of her message tonight. Tonight, 5 Memphis police officers off the force, fired 5 days ago following the death of 29-year-old father Tyre Nichols. Aside from a statement citing their actions as egregious, we have not seen Memphis Police Chief C.J. Davis publicly address the incident. But Monday, the attorney for Nichols...
She's publicly addressed the incident since then. I just didn't really see it. I heard through the grapevine a few things she had to say, but this is clearly an old broadcast because she's definitely has addressed the public. I just have to find it here. Because this is insane, man. All right, I found it. Let's see what she had to say.
Memphis are preparing for the release of police body cam footage showing Tyre Nichols' arrest. 29-year-old Nichols died 3 days after the traffic stop. Police pulled him over for reckless driving, but it soon escalated into a violent altercation. The Memphis police chief says the treatment of Nichols was reckless and humane, but she's calling on the community to respond safely once the video is released.
I expect you to feel what the Nichols family feels. I expect you to feel outrage in the disregard of basic human rights, as our police officers have taken an oath to do the opposite of what transpired on the video. I expect our citizens to exercise their First Amendment right to protest.
Y'all see her hand gesture, right? See, I be peeping all of this stuff, man. Y'all see that, right? Looks Masonic to me. She says she expects outrage. She expects y'all to be angry. Man, that speaks volumes in itself. That speaks volumes in itself, y'all.
To demand action and results.
When they take a tone like that, demand actions to get results. Our people are we're actually more peaceful than anybody on the planet. And that type of tone right there, that's worse than march down to the Capitol. When you say take action, people are going to take action. That's worse than Donald Trump saying, hey, march down to the Capitol. Even though Donald Trump ain't tell you to riot. This is crazy.
But we need to ensure our community is safe in this process. None of this is a calling card for inciting violence or destruction on our community or against our citizens.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you cleared that up.
CBS News correspondent Elise Preston is in Memphis covering the story for us. Elise?
Elise, we know it seems as though, based on what we've just heard, protests are expected, anger is expected. The chief of police there saying it's understandable because what we're witnessing in this video is inhumane. What are we hearing out of the district attorney's office about what the potential charges are upcoming?
So we haven't heard specifically that charges could come. It is very much.
All right. So since then, there has been charges, second degree murder, Let me tell y'all something. It'll be your own people. It's your own people. It's 2/3 of our people who are our enemies. The systemic racism that we face to this day is coming by the hands of our very own. It's coming by the hands of our own people. Listen, they hate us. And I'm talking about God's chosen people from the diaspora. It goes back to Cain and Abel, man. There's a supreme jealousy on those who bear the light. And they want to extinguish that light. What we learning right now is our people, well, they're not actually our people. They look like us, but deep down inside, they ravenous wolves. They're cannibals. It's our people. I told y'all before, man, and I told this in multiple occasions and multiple times. When I was 18 years old, I was beat by police officers. They gave me 16 stitches on the side of my eye. Cop's wedding ring apparently cut my face open. And they didn't even arrest me. Literally. You can constitute what they did as kidnapping. All they did was take me to a hospital. This happened on my 18th birthday. And that's why it's so difficult for me to even address the story. I couldn't even sleep last night just remembering what I've been through and seeing what happened to that young man. I have never experienced anything negative from a white cop before. And I'm not saying there aren't some racist, prejudiced, Nazi cops walking a beat. That's not what I'm saying. But from my personal experience, even when I had to do some time, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you who were the worst cops. The ones that look like us. The ones who didn't uphold our civil rights. The ones who walked around and treated us like the animals was our people, bro. It was our people in there that wouldn't give us, toothbrushes, wouldn't give you essentials that's needed. Those would be the ones you would ask them for something and they would stick their nose in the air and ignore you while you in there in need. I've even witnessed them leave people in the cells sick, damn near dying with high fevers and won't even bring them to medic. That's our people that do that, bro. I'm telling you. Our people are the gatekeepers. It's our people in the hospitals that mistreat our people. When they see one of us walk in that hospital, we the ones, listen, they the ones who treating us bad. When I get a black nurse, I leave the hospital. I literally leave. When I'm assigned, if something happens and I have to go to the hospital, I'm not feeling well, whatever the case may be, and they assign me a black nurse, I get up and leave. I leave, bro. It is something rotten to the core. It's in the bones. It's in the bloodline. It's something and your black ass DNA that is rotten to the core. It's a malevolence. It's a demonic spirit. It's an evil that no evil can even compare to. Nimrod was black. I think Satan is black. The one who wanted to build a tower into the heavens to fight the Most High was a black man. Y'all don't even understand this. You look at that skin complexion, falling for the race baiting topics. No. God's biggest adversaries, even though we are the chosen people of the book, but his biggest adversaries look just like us. The Pharaoh was black. Yeah, let my people go. Moses trying to free us. Pharaoh was black too. So I don't get caught up in BLM or whatever, Black Lives Matter, some of the narratives they come with. I don't get caught up in that. It's these Negroes that make it hard for me. I don't have to worry about KKK marching down my street, making my life a living hell. I got to worry about you Negroes robbing me. I got to worry about you Negroes trying to holler at my woman, or I got to worry about you Negroes trying to provoke an argument. And then I ain't nobody to run to, ain't nobody to call, because the police hates us too. It's almost like there was a PSA that went out all over the world where the white man, he told these Negro peons to just, hold the fort down. Hey, listen, we can't be the ones behind the trigger no more. Y'all go ahead and hold the fort down. So all of that pro-black conversation that these damn conscious people keep on bringing out, I don't have those talking points. The most evil I've ever seen in my life came by the hands of other black people. The most evil things I've ever seen. Yeah, it's pretty much a catch-22. I seen how wicked they are. I see how they look at me on a daily basis. I witnessed these demonic black bullies and heathens all my life. From elementary school, preschool, till now, I've seen you black demons walking these streets who look at me with mean mug. You look at me with disdain and distaste. Y'all watch The Chosen. Y'all plot on us the same way you did Shanquella Robinson. You want us out of our safety zone because you know that the Most High working in us. It's to the point where I'm not, and I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all are not even comfortable around your own people like that. Even if it's in your family a lot of the times. You don't even want to go to the cookout no more. Why? Because you know they Negro peons there. You know that they deep down inside, they hate you. Why? Because they chose Satan. These police officers had no remorse. There was no mercy. There was no pity. As these pathetic, callous, poor excuse for men jumped on that guy like that. That's majority of these black people. And I don't hear a lot of those individuals who back the blue. I hear y'all silent right now. I hear a lot of people who, I stand behind the blue. I don't hear y'all talking now. A lot of their platforms are mighty, mighty quiet. Because they don't even realize that these people have become judge and jury. These people are the assassins for the elite. And now on a political level, they can no longer use the white face to be the assassin. It got to be you Negroes. Y'all already doing it.
Talk to him,
You're already doing it. And you know what? You know what happens? We allow this spiritual energy to be cultivated. And I'm talking about as a whole. We allow these impositions to come. You know why? Because we applaud death. We listen to it every day. Run up on a ninja with this, beat a ninja down, hit him with the 4-5. No, that's all we listen to. That's all we listen to. It's music to your ears hearing a black man die, but when you see it on camera and you see a man get heinously beat to death, then your emotions want to be triggered. Your emotions want to be triggered, but it's the damn soundtrack of your life, Negro. You love it. It's a fetish of yours. Y'all make these people idols. Y'all talk about King Von. Some of these content creators and podcasters treat King Von like he was a messiah figure, and all he did was kill Negroes. But then we want to act like we got some sympathy when something happens. When you can't see it on camera. No, I better not hear none of these celebrities, none of these rappers. I don't want to hear no rapper speak about this. I don't want to hear none of these celebrities come out acting like they care about justice when all they do is promote death. I don't want to hear it. Y'all romanticize over the killers in our community. You destroy your heroes and you big up the villains. There's a sickness in these black people. I don't trust them. I don't trust these Negroes, especially a Negro with a badge. Yo, thank you for the $5 contribution. Says, thank you. This stream is very important. It's a real sad situation, man. I'm going to tell you right now. You're going to see a lot of people come forth, and they're going to try to pretty much graveyard chase. They're going to, let me go ahead and take this off of the screen as I talk to y'all, because I want to be face to face with y'all. Listen, you're going to have a lot of people who use this as an opportunity to further promote themselves. You're gonna see a lot of people use this as an opportunity to grandstand, and it's gonna be majority black people. The same black people that were speaking the race narrative is gonna be the same people, black people that try to jump in. But they listen. Let me make this clear. It's only a select few who even ordained to even talk about topics like this. There's only a select few. The Most High made it that way. They're not eligible to speak on this matter. Those in Hollywood, and I don't give a damn who it is, your D.L. Hughley's and all of them people who want to come forth and spew their little political rhetoric about defunding the police, they're not eligible to talk about this because they don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes and they don't understand it. Yeah, you're going to see the usual suspects. You're going to see the usual culprits come forth. And they're gonna be all in the cameras, all in the videos, and they're gonna be talking about what happened. But I'm here to tell you right now, and let me make this clear. Tune those people out. The whole goal is to defund the police, but here's the thing. Some people are saying, well, Bree, at this point of what we just witnessed, maybe they should defund the police. We don't need them. Look what they're doing to us. That's why they showed you the video. To play with your emotions and your heart. Because it's so painful to watch. We just want a solution. We want this to stop. The same way that young man wanted those police to stop brutally beating him. That's the same way we want all of these altercations, all of these scenarios and situations to just stop. They know that we're tired. But you got to keep in mind, this is an isolated event that took place. And you got to ask yourself, is your streets really ready for no police presence at all? With the savages putting out the demonic undertones and frequencies of death and murder through the music. Where these youngins running around like it's the wild, wild west. Is your neighborhood ready for no police presence? Are you ready to live in a community in which burglary, arson, assault and battery, vehicular homicide, second-degree murder, assault, R-word, well, all of these things can happen and nobody's gonna come, even where nobody's gonna come to even write the paperwork up, and there's literally no consequences for these actions, because that's what they want to promote. America is about to turn chaotic. We got to understand, every time something like this happens, it's a step closer to a chaotic society. We're going to look at the purge here in these states. You're going to start seeing these home invasions go up, everything. Because in the midst of friendly protests, there's opportunistic people out there, just like the politics and the politicians and whoever stands something to gain, they're taking their opportunities. There's going to be, listen, the bottom feeders going to take their opportunities too in the midst of the chaos. And this is why we talk about coming together with like-minded people, living on community living. We talk about this. You got to get away. You got to get away from these people. You got to get out of the cities. You got to get away from toxic people. You got to stay out of them streets. You want to be amongst the like-minded. Why? Because it look like it's about to be Hunger Games out here. And you got Joe Biden all on the TV grandstanding. Now, all I got to say is that they don't give a fuck about us. They do not care about the so-called black man, bro. We are an endangered species, bro. Nobody cares about us. Nobody cares about us. Matter of fact, everybody eats off of our death. Even the rappers have been relegated to a paycheck, to life insurance policies. Here we have Black Lives Matter was totally pretty much funded off the backs of us. Nobody gives a damn about us. We are like the fuel to this society. Our bloodshed is the fuel to this society, and they wonder why we so damn cold at this point. They wonder why we so pissed off. They wonder why we so damn angry, bro. This is why I understand the mentality of my young brothers in them streets. What the hell do they have to look forward to in this country? What the hell do they have to look forward to? You wonder why they pissed off and angry? Really? You wonder why it's a fire being kindled in them? You wonder why our men ain't taking no shorts and ain't trying to hear nothing nobody got to say? Because nobody gives a damn about us. Here at Black Lives Matter, an organization full of reprobates. Women playing on the other side, funded $1 billion corporation, $1 million corporation off of our deaths. And we can't get an organization that's ran by us. Did you hear what I just said? Everybody can start organizations, political campaigns, everything off of our deaths, but there's not one group or organization that's representing us on a mainstream level when it comes to matters such as this one. And they wonder why we pissed off. They put us at the bottom. They even put our women over us. It's by design, man. That's why we keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, because we trying to restore order. This is why we setting up certain precautions and putting things in place because we want to restore order where men are actually leading. This society we live in is driven off emotion. It is matriarchal. It is gynocentric. They want men scared to walk the streets. That's what the book of Thessalonians told you. That men will be walking the streets afraid. That's no lie. We're in that time. They're also using this whole ritual to cultivate a fear-based energy on us because, listen, you got to understand, when you are afraid, when you walk in the streets, you bring energy to yourself. When your mama wondering if you're going to come home every night and she's praying, oh, baby, don't go here. I hope you're going to be okay. Her fears turn into energy. And then the angel of death can come in because of the fear. They want you to be afraid that any given moment, somebody can pull you over, savagely beat you to death. They want fear on every corner. And that's what's happening. Better believe a lot of brothers feel that fear. Yo, for everybody supporting, thank you, because I'm pretty sure they are not going to monetize the video. So the support is really helpful. I'm pretty sure they're not. And if they do, I'm going to have to fight because every video, that's what seems to be happening. Thanks for the 20, Bold Tillman. I appreciate it. Says, I don't trust ninjas with badges neither. Me neither, bro. Stephanie says they're going to bring in the military. They got a plan. Exactly. They showed us in every science fiction movie you watch back in the 90s what they were doing, right? They're going to be bringing in the military. There's going to be tanks. There's going to be a heightened police presence out there in Memphis. This thing is going to get real. The whole goal is to usher in martial law. Now, I don't know. We hoping that it stays peaceful. I don't believe that's going to happen. I think by tonight, we're going to see these protests take a dramatic turn. That's just my prediction. I'm not claiming that I'm prophesying this. All right, for the record, I'm just looking at the writings that's on the wall. It looks like to me that they're going to have they're going to have Antifa out there. They're going to have various people out there who ain't even from Memphis. That's how it go down. Robin, thank you for the $20 contribution. It is appreciated. Elijah Middleton, thank you as well for the 20. Says, by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, we will be great in the kingdom of heaven and following the Messiah. Absolutely, brother. Yeah, you know, that's all I got to do is sprinkle a couple agents in there. Because it's something about when that night sky approaches and people are out there in the streets and it's getting deeper and deeper. Then you're going to have the people looting. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope that people learn from the George Floyd situation of what happened in Minneapolis and they don't terrorize their own community and tear down their own local stores and things of that nature. I'm really hoping that doesn't happen. But you know they're going to send them agents. Yeah, they want to bring in a National Guard, man. Yeah, but you know, man, listen. Be careful where you at. I mean, I can't even say that. What I can say is stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. You know, the agenda is real. I think we can all see the writings on the wall where this is headed. So, you know, do yourself a favor and stay out them streets tonight, especially if you're in a major city where protesters are downtown, where protesters are in the streets. You know, just stay out of the major cities, stay out of the city part. But y'all be careful out here, man. I love each and every one of y'all, man.
Appreciate
it. Be your own people, man. Your own people. It be your own people conniving, jealous of you, don't want to see you be nothing. It be your own people watching. It'll be your own people who want you dead. They want you dead. They want you dead. They hate you. They hate you. Listen, brothers and sisters, your own people, they hate you. They want you dead, bro. They pray to Satan every night that they can get their hands on you, that they can group up and kill you, bro. They don't want to see you win. They don't want to see you ascend. They don't want to see you grow to reach your stature of age. They don't want to see you happy, bro. They want you dead. Only God can keep you safe. Only the Most High can keep you safe. Don't trust no damn body, bro. Only trust those who have shown and proved and been through the war with you, been through the tumultuous times with you. For real, man. I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all, man.
Appreciate you every time, man.
Man, listen, y'all have a blessed day, man. With that being said, shalom and peace.